It's absolutely stunning, and I don't need to say any more because they will fill in all the spaces. Please give a warm welcome to Twin Flames.
Thank you for having us on your territory. Every time we get to visit, I think especially in a Native Friendship Center, it's extra special. I would have loved to see a little bit more community members here, but hopefully that will come, and I think in a lot of Canadian cities that we visit, that's often the case, is some of our community members are too shy sometimes to come out, and we understand that, so we keep a space for them in our hearts today, and thank you all for coming. It means so much to us. So we're going to take you again on a bit of a journey with us today, and we're going to sing in 3 languages today. We didn't really do that last night. So we do sing in French, English, and Inuktitut. And being French-Canadian, I met someone here earlier and I was able to speak French. And I was like, yeah, I can speak French. And I think it's like that with Indigenous languages too. It's like when you get to meet someone that speaks your language, get like extra excited. Or even if it's not an Indigenous language, if you're just originally an immigrant from another country and you get to see someone that speaks your homeland language, that can be super powerful as well. So it's all about connections and how so many things can bring us together even though we can come from all different places all over the world.
So our bag is telling stories. And this setting is the best because the lights are on and we can see you.
It's so true.
Yeah. We're not worried that the seats are empty. So our journeys often go, they do go all over the place, especially with both of our ADD. But most importantly, a lot of the songs that I do write are based on my upbringing with my grandparents. I'm the product of a traditional adoption. My biological mom was too young, so my grandparents said, he belongs with us. He needs to know the land. He needs to know the animals. He needs to be taught the ways that they have been taught by their forefathers and their foremothers, because we're progressive. So this first song we're going to sing for you, I wrote this song in the washroom. I wasn't taking number 2. The acoustics were what I was after. So, before I went to the washroom, I was looking out the window and I was seeing these snowflakes fall. And these were snowflakes that I've never seen before, except back home. And that's what usually drew me to certain distance gazing into how beautiful my home was. So it got me thinking, and I said, oh my God, I miss home. So that's when I went to the washroom. I took a mandolin and a cell phone, and I started recording. Everything that I sang, I didn't write it, it just came out. That song actually stayed the way it did. I didn't have to change anything, it was just singing from the heart. And this song is in my language, so it's just exactly what I alluded to, missing home. So if you're from somewhere else, this song is for you.
Ma terre, je ferme les yeux et je suis transportée. Étendue en dessous des aurores boréales, mon imagination se promène. Je retourne à ma terre, à mes amis, à ma communauté, et je m'ennuie. Je m'ennuie de ma terre. I miss my home. I miss my land. Nunaka.
It's another night, see
Milano Daguvara Khanedo Iqaibuna Sawasune Ghilautagani Iqaibuna Gitsanalanto Zikido, Zikhine, Zito Ranwa Khakame Nunayane Unyangwa Vijurana Katir Sunga Kume Biara sunga nalegeakani Berosa vigila simaya vane Benaina levada sunga Zinilirama Utiba kunga Nunaga Lungi Bikatika Himalayaka Isumagi Vandaka Nunagane Mahaine Palasu Matina Laune Ungagi Vandaka Aleka sukutu Aniati gitu ulutama Kisiane okhal serelawyangi ono Bitsana kute inohatene Ulukhera neruya inangi bainotaka Nunaga Takane Kisiane nunaga ba ilepto Khane ngila
So we're trying to figure out a sound we were hearing up here. It's some kind of tss that's happening after we're singing. But we'll try. It could have been the effect he had on his guitar. Technical stuff. This guy's awesome. Can we clap for Samuel everywhere? Especially you. We'll do this one and see if it's still happening. Sometimes that happens. Technology, right? I'm going to sing a song that I didn't sing last night. This song is called Be Gentle With My Heart. I wrote this song several years ago now, when I was going through a really difficult time. And I thought, you know, I was reflecting a lot on life, which I do probably way too much, but I guess it helps make me a little wiser each day. And I thought, you know, how many of us are carrying around sadness? How many of us are carrying around our past, all the things that affect us in our everyday lives? And, you know, sometimes we're not always in the greatest place. You know, you could be in the grocery store and someone smashes into your cart. Maybe you guys are more polite here than we are in the big cities. Definitely happened to me 1 or 2 times. And you have that moment of reacting in anger, right? When someone is so blunt or so just unrespectful of your personal space. And in those moments, I was reflecting on those times and just how we're all carrying something. And so this song, Be Gentle With My Heart, is kind of be gentle, a reminder to be gentle with my own, but also with those of other people that surround me, even a complete stranger. Because sometimes when people react that way, we can have no clue what they're actually carrying. And so it's just kind of a gentle reminder of that. Be gentle with my heart, for you must understand it's been broken by many hands. And during the dark night I fear I may one day disappear, my broken heart within every man. But if you're lonely, call on me. It's what you always said to me. But now I'm lonely, you're the only heart that I can see. Heart that I can see. Be gentle with my soul, for it has got a hole where my trust used to be. Now when I'm alone, I fear what I have might disappear. My heart, it wants from life again. But if you're lonely, call on me. It's what you always said to me. But now I'm lonely, you're the only heart that I can see. Heart that I can see. So music has this amazing power, right? We talked about it last night. And whenever I was a little girl and I'd stay home sick from school, my great granny was the one that would babysit me. And it's crazy how much music plays a role in how we feel, right? So when I'd feel sick, she'd sing me this song. And I'm sure you might all know it. And it's kind of merged into this one. So hopefully you all have that one song that makes you feel really good. And for me, this is this song. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Okay, y'all know it now. Gonna start again? Are we ready? Are we feeling warmed up? Because this song is awesome when other people sing it. Okay. 3, 2, 1. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Wow. Please don't take my sunshine away. She was rich. Thank you so much. So awesome. Thank you. It's always hard to get through that without getting emotional. So thanks for being my emotional support in that song.
Sorry for the silence.
You know, music is something that's so intertwined with our emotions. When I first started singing publicly, I was 26 years old, because before then I think I would have died if I tried. I was extremely socially awkward. I suffered with extreme social anxiety, and so singing was really the last thing that I ever thought I could do, even though I loved it when I was alone in my room. So I think we've come a long way in the 5 years where in the beginning when I would sing or I would open up, I would always get so emotional. So it's been a journey learning how to keep those emotions a bit in check and not becoming an emotional bawling wreck in public. Be bad for the makeup, right? So we're gonna sing another song. This one we did sing last night, but it's a really fun song. It's one of my favorite to play of the IU's repertoire. It's called So High Deep.
You know, the communication factor that we have in today's state is pretty sad, and I think we all can relate to this, especially if you have grandkids that are on the screen. And we see it all over. Even us, we're victims to it. As artists, we have no choice because it's something that we have to interact with. One of the things, though, is what ends up happening that has become, there's a social gap at this point. People do not know how to talk to each other anymore, and everybody's getting offended over the silliest things. And everybody has, unfortunately, built this label to everything. So people then will start saying, well, you can't say it like that. You can't say this to these people. You can't say that to these people. It becomes very, we're always in angst, right? Even from the simple thing to a sibling writing to another sibling. What's mom cooking for supper? Bing! The other kid's at the other end of the couch. I don't know.
It's happened in our house.
Right? And then, obviously, mom pipes in and says, come and check yourself. Don't rag about it, check. So, you know, so we are losing our young ones to this instrument. But we have to go back down to basics. How we used to be able to communicate. When we had something going on, we said it. And that's how I was taught anyways. If you got something to say to me, say it to my face. Don't say it on Facebook. At the time, don't say it on Bebo. Do you remember Bebo? No? Okay. Wrong crowd. So high geek means come. Let's have a conversation. Sit down with me, let's talk. And it is in my Inuktitut language. Ilani itokuna, I'm so sorry. Ilani itokuna, I'm so sorry. For those of you that were at our show last night, do you remember how to say thank you?
Whoa, that's like a pop quiz right there.
Yeah.
Na,
Good.
ko, mit.
Yes, yes. Yes, there we go. So, nakomik means thank you in my language. So, now that the lights are on and I can see you, I'm going to do another Inuktitut 101. And everybody has to pay attention. So how we say yes in Inuktitut? If last year's artist, the Jerry Cans, didn't teach you this,
Which we were reminded of last night.
Yes, yes. So how we say yes in Inuktitut is raised eyebrows, yes. No words. Inuit are very literal. We are very literal people. We didn't say thank you and stuff like that in the past, but we kind of had to grow accustomed to that, therefore, Nakopmeek came about. But it was more grunts. I like grandpa. Your grandpas would be, you know, oh, okay. And so, but we were very descriptive, right? Everything was out of description. So to say yes was that. If you didn't have eyebrows, I'm sorry.
Come see me after, I'll hook you up.
And then the opposite of that is no. And that one is, and no, not quite. That's something that's, I think, in doctors' terms, constipation. But you have to crinkle the nose up top, so it's like this. Like this is my. Let's write a song.
Full circle, love.
Yes. So those are your two Inuktitut words for today. So next time we come back to Coldsnap, I expect all of you to remember. And if you don't have eyebrows, they're Sharpies.
Don't do that.
Okay.
All right. So humor is important. Laughter is so important, especially in our communities. You know, whenever we have to experience death, which is very, very, very all too common in our communities. One of the first things that we do when we get together is laugh and make really silly jokes, because sometimes that's the only way that we can deal with the harshness and the realities of what happened to our people. This song is called She Remembers, and we wrote this song for a specific incredible woman that lost her life 2 years ago in Ottawa. Her name was Annie. She was from Cape Dorset in Nunavut, and she has art that hangs in the National Art Gallery of Canada. And so Annie's body was found in the Ottawa River, and at first the police said she did it to herself. But most Inuit don't know how to swim, because when you grow up in a region where the water is so cold that it'll kill you, you don't go in the water. And so the people fought back, and the police reopened the case. Thankfully, they discovered that she did not do it to herself. Someone did it to her. And so sitting in her funeral and seeing our community so devastated by the fact that Annie lost her life, but also that Annie was living on the streets. You know, an artist whose art hangs in the National Art Gallery of Canada was living on the streets. You know, and that happens to many of our musicians, to many of our artists. And there's nothing more than just heartbreak when we talk about these subjects. And I know they're heavy, so thank you for listening with open hearts and open ears. Sitting through her funeral, all I could think of was writing a song for her to honor her and honor her life, and to honor all of our women and men that are living life on the streets. And so we hope that that healing will continue, and that all of our people who are living on the streets will eventually find a home somewhere they can feel safe and loved. This is She Remembers. She remembers long ago, a time when the buffalo roamed, when the children weren't hurting and the women weren't crying. She remembers long ago, a time when the men would hunt in the snow. How did she get here, you ask yourself, standing on the corner with her hand held out. A million people pass her by, but they won't look her in the eye. She's another face that's lost her place, reminder of our failure as the human race. Weed out the weak and empower the strong, that is where we all go wrong. Now she cries the highway tears, can't take back all those years. No place to go, no place to call home. Everything is taken and gone. Now she spends her nights alone, cold and lost, chilled to the bone. She stands there with her hand held out, and all that's left is fear and doubt. Accepts the hand that she's been dealt. She'll vanish away with no one's help. Now she cries highway tears, can't take back all those years. She remembers long ago, the time when the buffalo roamed, when the children weren't hurting and the women weren't crying. She remembers long ago, the time when the men would hunt in the snow. Oh, yeah. Well, hey, 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 oh. 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 Now she cries So it was a very tough one to get through.
You want to perk it up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Well, we're going to have to dive into a little bit of dark history to get there first, once again. But our goal is never to make anybody feel bad. Our goal is never to make anybody feel sad. There are people that are activists, and that is the role that they do, and and we all need everybody. We as musicians, we come up here, we sing on major stages across Turtle Island. We have sang in Europe and Australia, and we talk about our issues. But we want to tell the stories in a way where we're not shoving it down people's throats, where we make them feel like they are to blame. And our goal is to also work with the youth and start from the bottom. We go into schools, we give workshops to youth across the Ottawa area, Toronto area, and wherever we're asked. When we do festivals, they ask us to go into schools. And that's it if it's in the spring or whatnot. And so our goal is to tell our version rather than letting them hear their parents, teachers that may have the wrong information.
History books.
Yes. I spent a lot of time in detention because my teacher didn't like the fact that I kind of butted heads with him on the whole history matter. We became friends later on. But now all the schools are working really hard to try and right the wrongs that has happened over time. 60, 70 years ago, we were still in igloos as Inuit people. And back then, the Hudson's Bay Company had a lot of control over the land. They were managing for the Crown. And there were RCMP outposts here and there. And we still traveled by dogs. And we lived in igloos. Puppies are nice, right? Everybody likes puppies. Dogs, we see puppies, we want to pet them. Oh my God, ooh, so nice. Husky dogs are utility animals. And that was made very clear. Don't go near the dogs. You're going to get mauled. So, one of the daughters of the Hudson's Bay outpost, unfortunately, didn't listen and got mauled. So the Hudson's Bay Company decided to write a letter to the Parliament and ordered all of the husky dogs to be slaughtered. So that halted the ways of our nomadic lives. Communities were built. Just so happened Bombardier started to put their machine out into the world. The problem is there, obviously it's stated. But the other problem is when the master falls through the ice, the dogs will go in and pick the master up. They will pull them out. They will find their way home all the time. A snowmobile is going to weigh you down and sink you. Sink, yeah. It's a Titanic on skis. So the other problem is it breaks down. We go on the side of the highway when we break down and we start kicking our door, we start kicking our tires as if it's going to start again, right? But that is the reality of man-made stuff. They break down. You cannot replace nature with that. Luckily, we have dogs again. I have an amputee brother who has become internationally known in some parts for people that have seen his documentary. And he was a part of the revival of the Husky Dogs. That movie's title is called Upik's Dream. And he was followed around by a film crew for about 5-6 years. He does a high endurance race. He's 66 now, I think. And he does a high endurance race in the middle of February and March. 1,000 kilometers in minus 60, minus 70. Blizzard or not, they still go.
One leg.
One leg. So, Broke Down Skito is the next song we're going to sing for you, and it's a song about every part of that snow machine breaking down, from the belt to the ski falling off. It's a hoot.
One of the things that I found astonishing about being an outsider and visiting the Arctic was all the skidoo graveyards. So the thing that happened when they sent up all these machines, there were no mechanics to fix them. And so once they would break down, they would just be useless. And so even today, the North has a hard time finding out what to do with all this excess scrap metal. So some of the communities just have these junkyards as far as you can see, and they're actually really fun to walk around in. What's that? As long as it's not a fire alarm, we're good.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, here's broke down Skittle.
We're going to need your help.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy. So you're going to play the engine. And please don't break down. So it goes, so make sure I'm in the right key here.
Yeah. It broke down.
That always gets me warmed up. You know, for those of you who weren't there last night, we always like to acknowledge that we're not throat singers. Throat singing belongs to our Inuit woman. I just happen to use my throat as an instrument and also to open up a conversation, especially in spaces like this, and say that I don't throat sing. It belongs to our woman. and for a moment it was taken away because apparently it was thought to be demonic practices, shamanism. So I think you've heard some throat singing in the past because the Jerry Cans were here, and they're awesome. They implement a lot of the modern instruments with what we grew up also with the Scottish Highland sound with accordion, fiddle, and throat singing. So that's pretty awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah. I'm gonna tune up.
All right. Next song is called Plain Song, and for those that were there last night, you might remember, I wrote this song on an airplane because the vibration sounds were really, really loud, and they were kind of like rumbling all in my body. But within the vibration sound, I started hearing a melody. And then so I took out my cell phone and I started singing what I was hearing in the airplane motor. And I thought it was really awesome last night when we heard, I'm having a total blank right now. David. Yeah, David. I'm so sorry. He's amazing. I'm terrible with names. But David, when he was explaining how he went on that ship and was feeling that vibration, I thought, that's so strange, you know, that like two musicians can get that kind of feeling from a mechanical vehicle, go figure. But that's what kind of started off this song.
It breaks down though.
What, the plane?
Well, stop.
Oh, not the plane. Let's not ever think about that. Okay, so, Plain Song is about being proud of who you are and where you come from, no matter where that is, right? Because we all come from somewhere, we all have a story. And you know, when we talk to the youth, I often say, imagine if we all looked the same, if we all spoke the same, if we all wore the exact same clothes, how boring that would be, to go to school every day and look around and see everything the exact same as you. And I think that's what makes this world so powerful, and the people in it powerful, is when they are uniquely themselves and just own every piece of it. Especially our people, because we're still learning how to own our space and our voices in this country. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 put in our place where we belong. Scared to speak up, scared we'd be wrong. What if in that moment we stood tall? Refuse to surrender, refuse to fall. Are you ready? Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Dare to reach out, don't feel alone. Stand all together and stand strong. For we can be the change we wish to see. It's all up to you, it's up to me. Stand proud and sing it. Hi, 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 hi. You can swing your arms too. Hi, 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 hi. Sitting for long is hard. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. It's awesome. Dare to stand out, don't be the same. Soar like the eagle in your veins. Be proud of who you are and what remains. Look in the mirror and say, hi, 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 hi. Y'all remember? Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Hi, 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 hi. Listen to the voice that's deep inside. The one that tells you not to hide. Don't follow the path that lies ahead. Make your own road instead. Stand proud and sing it. Hi, 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 hi. 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 You're so awesome. I think one time, just you guys, are you ready? That was so epic. Oh my god. Thank you. There were like 3 or 4 part harmonies going on there. I think you're all out for a job.
You know, I think that's what makes Coldsnap so special as well. Not just because of awesome people that are running the place and volunteering, but because of you. The fact that you have that ability to come in and sing along, making it sound like you've been doing this with us forever. Yeah, Twin Flames and the Coldsnap Choir.
I think we're on to something.
I think so, yeah. One of the things that we like to talk to our youth about as well is, I mean, the state of bullying has been there forever, since the beginning of memoriam. Basically, where one thinks that they're better than the next person, and you know, we see it a lot. I went through it, you know, as a Mohawk kid in an Inuit community. I was the little Indian kid, and that was within my own people. What my mother always taught me was, my adopted mother, she said, within these 4 walls, you are my son. When you go out there, you are my son. Try to do good, and that's it. That's all we ask. Respect. That's all we ask. Help somebody in need. And she said, you are not Indigenous. You are not white. You're not brown. You are my son, and that's it. You're a human being. Be human first. So one of the things that we talk to youth about is to make sure that they do not fall into that bullying, being bullied, but to have a support system as well. To be able to talk to your teacher and say, hey, this is happening. To be able to go home and say, this is happening. Don't get weirded out about having your parents in your face. Tell them, it's cool. You're fine. It's going to be fine as long as you protect yourself. There's friends, and the song's about that. You know, I think we all can relate when we're going through sometimes. Even if you're 10,000 miles apart, you can call out that person or even text and say, how you doing? Oh, that's a great song.
I feel like we needed to dance for
right?
that one.
You know, having to rely on a friend is something that we all have, but sometimes, unfortunately, are too shy to say, I'm going through this. They are standing beside us. They are standing behind us regardless, because it's vice versa, and that's what we have to understand. We didn't sing this song last night because today we can actually see that there's young ones here.
Which is awesome, by the way. Thanks for coming out, young ones.
So, friends, you probably figure it out. The chorus is, friends, I have got my friends. They are standing behind me. They are standing behind me. I have got my friends. They are standing beside me. Right until the end. Right until the end.
You'll get it. We'll sing it a few times.
Why is it not true? Oh, there we go.
You're on the wrong string.
Yeah, you know what? Like I said last night, Prince George is the first city that we've done in 2020 since our extended break, and it's going to be very tough to beat. You guys are amazing. You know.
Thank you. You've all become our friends, so this song is for every single one of you. Thank you for being so welcoming and open. You guys guys are awesome.
Susunga, ola ibunga, piratikalo, aningwa suta. Oh, oh, oh. Sasunga, ikaibunga, ilan nakalo, bingo asuta. Oh, oh, oh. Friends, I have got my friends. They are standing behind me right until the end. Right until the end. Friends, I have got my friends. They are standing beside me right until the end. Right until the end. No nagaten by montaka kingumanang ningin bunga-bunga ilan naga no naganet ekay baka desiyong ningin kinutaka. Kayo sinakonga Piratil harama Sa Virginia to me. Friends, I have got my friends. They are standing behind me right until the end. Right until the end. Friends, I have got my friends. They are standing beside me right until the end. Right until the end. Katika no naga nembengotaka atwina uniye kinoibonga Hatangotika no nagane umatiapingen pangutaka Kavalera loa uma kayo sinakona Piratil harama Sa Virginia to me. Friends, I have got my friends. They are standing behind me.
Thank you so much. I think we have time for one last song if you're all doing okay. Yeah? Okay.
Yes, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, yes, she's got it. She's doing
Yeah.
the eyebrows.
She would get so mad at me when we first met. She would be talking to me, and out of habit, I would just kind of answer with my eyes. Sometimes not even looking at her.
Babe, what do you want for dinner? Is this okay? In another room doesn't work, right? Would you answer me? Yeah.
But she learned.
I did. It's still hard to get any answers out of him, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just put those shimmering things so when I lift them, she can hear it with her super senses.
Tape some bells to your eyebrows. Right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we'll focus. We didn't really talk about being a couple last night. We are husband and wife. We've been married for 2 years now? 3? Yeah. See, that's how good it is. You don't need to keep track, right? Been together for about 5.5 years, and I think that's the number that we tend to remember more because that's when we started music too, really together. And it's how we met too, yeah. On a television show in Quebec City that was being filmed for up-and-coming Aboriginal musicians. So he was being filmed in the afternoon as the Inuk artist from the north, and I was being filmed in the morning. No, you were in the morning. Anyways, doesn't matter. But whatever ones those orders went in.
You don't even remember?
I was the Métis artist from the south. Babe, I can't even remember where we are sometimes. Struggle is real. Okay, so it happened to me. I was saying that earlier, where I woke up this morning and looked at the ceiling and had like a 10-second delay in my brain, like, where am I right now? Okay, I'm in Prince George. We're good. Very good. Maybe it's because our ceiling looks like a sound panel.
It does.
Have you guys ever been in the Ramada? It looks
Yes.
like it's like perfect. I think you could record an album in one of those. You know, use the shower as the vocal booth, and then you got like the padding everywhere for the guitar. I'm telling you, you're onto something.
It's for the snorers, so it doesn't bleed into the next room. Not everyone flies with their CPAP. That's a bit of a tangent, but what I was trying to get to was one of the things that I said last night that I haven't said yet. And if you weren't at the show last night, Yayi, again, this is a very, I don't know how it came about, but Yayi is George in Inuktitut. So when I came here, I felt like royalty.
He's the prince.
Cheaper too, because you know that Harry's coming to Canada, so Prince Yayi, right?
Keep on dreaming.
Okay, I'll settle for king.
Yeah, you'd have to marry a queen.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's focus.
Did you talk about you?
We didn't really talk about human.
You're better at it, so do it.
We talked about human last night. I think when we do like 2 back-to-back shows, it's always like worrisome that we're boring people with the same stories. But okay, thank you for being so supportive. So human is a song we were commissioned to write as artist in residence with Folk Alliance International. It's actually where we met the wonderful Sue, who brought us all the way out here. So we need to clap for Sue because she's incredible. Sue put us on a main stage last night with non-Indigenous artists, and that is huge. You know, as I was saying last night, many times we get slotted at a really bad time slot in a festival where no one actually shows up, or we get put on an Indigenous-only stage where people are scared to attend that are non-Indigenous because they don't know what it's going to be like, and it's unknown territory. And so this progressive thought, I think, of including an Indigenous act alongside all other Canadian musicians or musicians from around the world is really a true testament to the evolution of the arts in Canada and how hopefully it's building to become a better, more inclusive environment. I mean, the fact that this is a folk fest and we're an Indigenous group is really awesome that you guys are this open. So Tangent, Folk Alliance International, asked us to write a song as artists in residence, and they partnered us with UNESCO. And so we were asked to write the official song for UNESCO's Year of International Indigenous Languages. And it was incredible. We flew to Paris, we got to perform in Paris, France, and meet all these amazing people, but also walk on the land in which our ancestors come from, because both Yayi and I are of mixed heritage and have Hudson Bay Company relatives that sailed over back in the day. So getting to feel that land and just how old it is, you know, it's a different feeling than Canada. And so, yeah, Human hit #1 on the Indigenous Music Countdown in Canada and the United States, which is very exciting. Thank you. and it recently won a NAMA for Best Music Video Concept in the United States, which was really cool. And it was also part of CBC's Music Class Challenge. So kids from across the country, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, learned to sing this song. And they actually learned to sing Ininuktitud, which I thought was incredible. Kids that had never been exposed to the language before. And then also helped, again, reclamation of language in the communities in which languages are being lost. So it's had a big, long run so far, which is we're so grateful for. And this is Human.
I had a language that was born with time, passed on through generations, one of a kind. Keep it close to me, close to my heart, share for all to hear. I will do my part. Upigo sumbunga.
I am proud, I am proud of who I am.
I am human. I am people.
You know, you can sing it.
I am human. I am people. Upigo sumbunga.
I am proud, I am proud of who I am.
Upigo sumbunga.
I am proud, I am proud of who I am.
We are trying to find a place in the Batota. We are all the human race in the full in the Batota. Upigo sumbunga.
I am proud, I am proud of who
I am human. I am people. I am human. I am people.
Our elders say we were given our languages from the animals, from the trees, yet we cut them down. Many things have been taken from our people, yet we are still here. Our languages are not lost, but simply resting, waiting to be reawakened.
We are human. We are people.
Everybody now.
We are human. We are people. We are human. We are human.
Thank you. You guys are so incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you, Coldsnap. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Soundman. Over here. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Chelsea and Yahi, for sharing your music, for sharing your stories, for sharing your talents and your enthusiasm, and helping to make this a festival, which is what we celebrate. A couple of announcements before we let you go. Certainly like to thank Kim, who is just walking out, for doing an introduction today. Thank you, Kim. Wonderful local. And also like to thank the Prince George Native Friendship Center for hosting this event for us. special shout out to Lisa Alec, who I'm sure can hear us in the hallway there, for making all the arrangements for us to be hosted here. And she's also invited you to, if you want to stick around for lunch, to order it at the Smokehouse, just across the hall there. Certainly we have to acknowledge our sponsor, the Integris Credit Union, who makes these free ice jams possible in the community. We appreciate that. Oh, and let's not forget that Twin Flames has merchandise here. They have CDs, etc. So hang around, talk to them, chat with them, tell them what you enjoyed about the show, etc. And take a look at their music offering.